My name's Ro. I am a certified life coach. I work with people who are healing from narcissistic abuse. And I have monthly group coaching. So I work one-on-one with clients that are healing from narcissistic abuse and need some support. But I also host a group of people on a Zoom call. So anybody who wants to sit with other people, and it's basically like this, except you're sitting with other people and you're being given the opportunity to share your story, talk about the abusive situation you might have been in, or have any questions, and talk with other people and share in other people's healing. So for Northern Lights, that is sitting just in case you have questions, anything is answered that might resonate with you. Being in my group coaching can help you figure that out, and maybe you might meet somebody, or maybe you might hear something that will help. Maybe you might get to this place of you might even help someone else. So if you want to sign up for group coaching, this one, my very first one that's set up for July, is already sold out. It's on Sunday. But I have another one that is open for registration. So if you do want to register for that, it is on August 28th. And it is still available. There's still probably about 20 seats left. So if you do want to register for that, go to the link in my bio under events and you can register for that one. But hey, you're from Southern Ontario. Love my content. Thank you. Appreciate you. So yeah, I want to talk about the narcissistic collapse and what happens when the narcissist collapses. Does anybody know what that is? Does anybody know what that is? Has anyone heard that term before? Narcissistic collapse? If you were to guess what that means, what would you say that means? If I was to say, okay, they're going through a narcissistic collapse, and we're specifically talking about the narcissist. We're talking about them. Never heard it, right? Never heard it, Mama Lips. Hello, sweetheart. Debbie, what's going on? Anybody who is joining my group coaching session coming up on Sunday, hands up if you're in that group already, if you're already registered, if you're going to be there. I know some of the people that are coming in are going to be there. So put your hand up and say, I'm going to be there. Or me. Everyone say me if they're going to be there. Me. Oh, look at those. Oh, those are my new badges. Those are my new badges that my VA's made for me. Hi. Hands up if you're going to be there. Me. Brittany, amazing. Debbie's going to be there, guys. Is amazing. We're going to talk all about self-love. It's going to be amazing. I want everyone to join in whenever they can. This one is sold out, but I have another one on August 28th, and I know I said this before. Go over to my link tree in my bio, and you can register for that right now. What it is a group coaching session where there will be 25 people sitting in a Zoom call where you can show your face. You don't have to. But if you do show your face and you do want to share, you could literally be saving someone's life by your sharing. Your sharing can save someone. So it's also a place of community and a place of not feeling alone, because this type of abuse is so hard to identify and hard to explain to people who've never been through it, who have never been in a situation, or maybe they don't even know they were in one. So they can't identify or relate to you because what you might be saying might just seem like normal behavior to them, right? So you're going to sit in a room of people who actually get it. Hey, my top is fire. Thank you. Literally daydreaming about eating my candies and drinking margaritas in the group. Yeah, you can drink whatever you want. You can have a nice, yummy snack. You can just eat a tub of ice cream if you want. Get in your blankie, get in a Snuggie, get in your PJs. You can be in the nude if you want, if you don't want to keep your camera on. Whatever you want. Do whatever you want. It's a group of safe. It's a group of community. It's a group of healing. This is what we're going to be doing. So back to a narcissistic collapse. We touched on this a little bit. What is a narcissistic collapse? What is it? What happens? What is that? What are the behaviors? How do we achieve this? So I've made a couple posts about narcissistic collapse the last few days. Posted it on Instagram too. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, go ahead and just go to my profile and hit the little Instagram icon and hit the follow button and go to my YouTube and subscribe to me there. subscribe to my YouTube there. But the narcissistic collapse, yeah, no more supply. They run out of supply. Exactly. When a narcissist runs out of supply, they run off of supply. They need it to survive. They need it to be able to carry on with the behaviors that they have, to be able to do all the things they want to do, manipulate us, lie to us, gaslight us, abuse us, right? If a narcissist doesn't have anything to feed off of, if there's no more supply left, they collapse. They have a breakdown. And how does it present? Well, thank you, babe. How it presents for a narcissist is they will either, there's a lot of ways actually that it presents. There's a lot of ways. So one, they start to lose their energy. They start to lose their confidence. Some of them go into a deep depression. Some of them have an injury, which we see whenever we discard them or when we don't apply to their control, to their manipulation anymore. We don't buy into it. We start to see the mask slip and we see them for who they are. They get an injury. With injury comes rage. A lot of the times they rage out. When a narcissist collapses, they will usually have an injury. It hurts them. It hurts their ego. It hurts their sense of self. That's all they have. A narcissist doesn't really have a lot of sense of self. They don't actually know who they are. They really have no idea who the fuck they are. So imagine no idea of who you are, being a complete shell of a human being, right? And the only thing you are is just a zombie, a vampire. You're just brains, right? Energy. Just suck it out of everybody around you. But there's just nobody around to suck all that energy. There's no one around to feed off of. There's no more meat left on the dead carcass for them to feed off of. When you give them no supply and they cannot eat, they cannot function. So they will have depression. They might rage out on you, right? They might be frantically looking for other supply sources anywhere else, anyone else. They'll start abusing the people around you. They'll start abusing their own family and friends. They'll start abusing the people that they work with, the people, they're even their children. They'll start abusing anyone because they can't abuse you anymore. They'll start manipulating people. They might start a smear campaign on you and try to spread lies about you because they're in a frantic. They don't know what to do without your supply. And a lot of the times, even their karmic debt gets paid. Bad things start to happen to them. They might lose their job, or they might lose this opportunity over here. Or, they're just, when a narcissist collapses, it's literally just a breakdown. They have a major breakdown. The good news is they usually leave you alone. When you can't get anything left off of someone, when you're literally just using them to benefit you, to survive, they literally use you. They use you. You're a tool for them. You're just an object. And if there's nothing left that the object can do for them, they won't go there anymore. The gas station is closed. They can't just stop and fill up and move along. The gas station has no more gas. They're not going to bother you anymore. This is the place we want to be. This is where we want to go. We want the narcissist to collapse when it comes to you. And I don't mean this in an ill way. There's ways we can do this. What happens after the collapse? Usually a new supply. Yeah, sometimes a new supply. Sometimes it's a new supply. Hi there, Ro. Hello. Thank you. 16 years left years ago and still so difficult, but I'll never go back. Good for you. And I appreciate you for being vulnerable and telling me that. And snaps to you for 16 years leaving a narcissist. I was with the one I married for 14 years. Then I was with one for 9 months. So I have about 15 years experience of narcissistic abuse in romantic relationships. We're specifically talking about romantic relationships. Why? Because narcissistic parents, they can abuse a number of people. They can abuse whoever their children are. They can abuse people in their lives, and they're also abusing their partner. But when we're thinking about pathological love relationships, so romantic relationships, it is easier for us to see that narcissistic collapse. So who wants to know how we get a narcissist to collapse? What are some ways that you can think of that would affect and contribute to them collapsing and them hopefully leaving you alone? 14 years, left a month ago, never look back. Woo, woo, woo. You do. Sherry wants to know. 17 years and another 11 with another. Both left both with nothing. What do you mean nothing? Like financially? Set boundaries. Yes, set boundaries. That's one thing. Sylvia, what's up? Did you tag yourself? How's it going? Heather. Hi, love. What's up, Brittany? Mario, we got all the peeps coming in here. So we're talking, if you're new, if you're just coming in, we're talking about the narcissistic collapse. Again, my name is Ro. I'm a certified life coach, and I'm helping anyone here in this space heal from narcissistic abuse. I'm also helping myself in a way because sharing my story helps you all. And you sharing your stories and listening to me and being a space for me to heal helps me as well. Love it, love it, love it. So we're talking about the narcissistic collapse, specifically how a narcissist collapses. They don't have supply. They cannot feed off of you anymore. They don't have a way to have access to you, and they can't manipulate you and use you for their benefit. How do we do this? We want the narcissist to collapse, right? Because we want them to leave you alone. We can't control a narcissist. We can't control anyone but ourselves. Though we can contribute to this. This is a place we want to be. This is where they stop manipulating us. So how do we contribute that? What is the one thing I always say is one of the most important things in healing? There's community, there's education and knowledge. What's the third thing? Anybody knows? 2 words. What's that third thing that we do to help us heal from narcissistic abuse? What is that third thing? Yeah, we protect our energy. This is part of it. Self-care. Yeah. Self-care, babe. Self-care. Self-care, guys. That's my boyfriend. He got it. Self-care. And there's this little love badge. So anybody wants to subscribe to my live, by the way, get a little love badge. And you can also use these cute little emotes. And I will be doing lives like this where only people who are subscribed to my lives can comment. So a few perks like that one, and some other little perks like using access to, just to know that you're supporting me. I love to know who my supporters are. So anyone can subscribe to my live right now and get some special perks. But yes, self-love is the action, the verb in which we provide, or self-care rather, is how we provide self-love. I always say this, love is a verb. Love is action, not words. When a narcissist says they love you, they're just giving you lip service. They're just telling you things to manipulate you. They have to show you that they love you, okay? When a narcissist says they love you and they manipulate you, they're abusing you. A narcissist manipulates you from day one, meaning a narcissist will manipulate you all the way till the end. They will manipulate you 24/7. And the more they tell you they love you and the more they manipulate you and get you all confused, the less you love yourself. Yes, positive self-talk. We have to start loving ourselves. You cannot be in an abusive relationship and love yourself. There's no such thing as 2 people in a romantic relationship. Okay? There's no such thing as 2 people in a romantic relationship where one person is abusing and the other person is loving themselves. Doesn't exist. Hey, Mariah! What's up, cat girl? Thank you for the ice cream. I know it's so hot here. We need ice cream, don't we? So 2 people in a relationship, okay? 2 people in a relationship. You have to choose who you love. You have to choose who you love in that relationship. You have to choose it. If you don't choose you and you love that person more than you love you, you are in a abusive relationship. That's abuse. A loving relationship will allow that person to love you, and you will love you. So this is what happens. We stop loving ourselves when we're in an abusive relationship with a narcissist who doesn't actually have self-love. They actually don't love themselves. They have a really small view and sense of self. They have lack of empathy. They have lack of self-awareness. They don't love themselves, so they won't love you. And if you love them more than you love you, honey, you chose them. Always choose you. Shame-based fear of being ordinary. That's right. That is Brene Brown. That is her definition of narcissism. Right? They don't have a sense of self. They want to be entitled. They want to be exploitive. They want to have everyone envy them. Oh, look at that hat. Thank you. Oh, I love it. Right? They want all that. You know, they want to be special and unique. They don't want to be ordinary. They don't want any of that. But they hate themselves because they don't have these things. So they hate you. They hate themselves through you. So back to how do we get a narcissist to collapse? We have to love ourselves. We have to practice that like a verb. It's an action. How do we show ourselves that we love ourselves? We practice self-care. What is the very first act of self-care when it comes to a narcissist? When you've been abused by a narcissist, what is the very first thing you can do to practice self-care? What is the very first act you can do to practice self-care when healing from a narcissist? What's that first thing we can do? Most narcissists want attention. You know it. And thank you for the follow, by the way. No contact. That's exactly it. All of that therapy, let go. Therapy, believing in yourself, all of that helps. Let go, leave, all of that, leave, mentally leave. How do we even mentally leave, though, when we're in contact with them? We can't. They're right there. They're showing us. They're showing up. They're giving you grief. They're infecting you. You know that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? I'm going to get this right, babe. I'm not going to fuck up this movie. Inception. You know the movie Inception? I have a tendency to mess up movie titles. Well, movies altogether. I think 2 jail movies are the same movie. But that movie, Inception, with Leonardo DiCaprio, where they put a thought in someone's mind. They put a thought in someone's mind, and now this person wakes up and they're living it. That is what a narcissist does when they have access to you. That is what a narcissist does when they are able to text you. They'll say some shit like, why was his lips chapped? Did you know that the shoes didn't fit? Did you know that what did they eat this week? You know, Nixon's looking a little skinny. This is looking over there. Then now they've infected you with a thought, I'm a bad mom. They've infected you with a thought, I'm not good enough. They've infected you with a thought, I am not worthy of this. I don't deserve this. I don't belong here. Right? Almost every single person who suffers from narcissistic abuse and is a survivor of it, or who has been manipulated or gaslighted, abused in any way from a narcissist, has imposter syndrome. Walks into a new job or walks into a new crowd or into a new opportunity and doesn't feel like they belong there. Why is that? Why do they have imposter syndrome? Why do we have that as survivors? Do you know what imposter syndrome is? Hands up if you do. Why do we have that where we don't belong here? We're not worth it. We're not qualified enough for this. We're not good enough. Do I believe in myself enough to have this following on TikTok? Will I be able to coach people the same way I want to? Am I going to kill it at this new job? Or am I going to get fired? Will this relationship am I good enough for him, for her? Right? We don't feel like we're supposed to be there. We're an imposter. Why do we have that? Why? Right? We have that because the narcissist doesn't have any confidence and they're very insecure. What do? They project that onto us. So we have years. Sometimes for people, it's decades, okay? And for some people, it's days. Doesn't matter how long you've been with a narcissist, you're still going to get all of this trauma. Sorry to break it to you, but you're still going to have symptoms, if not diagnosed, but symptoms of CPTSD. We will still have triggers and trauma. But this is why, because they've conditioned us and instilled this thought in us where we are not good enough. We don't belong here. Why do we have that? Why did we think this? Because they think that about themselves. They actually really hate themselves. They hate themselves. If anyone has a question for me, I will read them in the chat. Just put a little heart emoji so that I know you're asking me a question. Because I'll be missing questions. And if I don't address it, you can pop it in again. But yeah, this is what happens, guys. We have imposter syndrome. We don't know who we are. We don't feel like we belong. And that is what happens. It's almost pretty much anyone I've ever talked to has had this. It's a very, very, very high percentage of people who have been in narcissistic abusive relationships that have this. That's me, right? I mean, me too. How do we work through this? How do we work through this? So we have so much stress in these really, really bad relationships. They abuse us, right? They make us feel very little about ourselves because they're trying to tear us down to their level, bring us down to where they are, right? Thanks to gaslighting, making us feel crazy, making us feel ashamed of ourselves, having us live in guilt, live in fear, live in obligation, the fog, right? Fear, obligation, and guilt. We're living in fog. They do this to us because they want to bring us down. They want to bring us down to the basement in the dark. They want to dim our light so that we feel really bad about ourselves when we come out of it. How do we cure this? How do we help recover from this? It takes self-love. And how do we practice self-love? Through self-care. We have to meditate. We have to shrink that amygdala. We have to shrink all that cortisol that was coursing through our body, all that hormone of stress. We have to get rid of that. We're stuck in the basement, right? We're stuck in the dark. We have to bring ourselves out. We have to calm ourselves. We need to meditate. We need to self-express. What's your way of self-expression? Does anybody sing? Does anybody dance? Draw? Read? Write? Do you exercise? Yoga? What is your form of self-expression? You write? Amazing. What is your form of self-expression? Yeah, go for walks. How do I stop feeling like the narcissist? This is a really good question. Plant rocks, cosplay. So do all of these things. Do all of these things for self-care. Self-care is self-expression. That's a part of it. Working out, running, writing. Now somebody asked, how do I get past that feeling of being a narcissist? I've done this before in the live. Should I do it again? There's one question that I can ask you, and it will guarantee you just a little bit of relief. I can't guarantee you that this answer is going to be correct for you, but I can guarantee you relief. Who wants some relief? If they've ever thought about them being a narcissist, or if they're just curious what this question is. What is the question that I can ask you right now that will give you some relief with the question you might have been asking yourself, which is, am I the narcissist? Am I the narcissist? Okay, who's ready for this? I will ask you a question, and based on your answer, I'm going to give you some relief on this question, because I'll tell you, I've been coaching now for 4 months, and this is probably the number one question that I get asked in almost every session. But I feel like I'm the narcissist. Am I the narcissist? I've asked myself before if I'm the narcissist. I don't think I am. My therapist said I'm not. Sometimes I feel like I am. They told me I'm a narcissist, right? This is a question that always pops up. every single one of my clients. And by the way, if you do want to coach with me, I am a certified life coach. I help people heal from narcissistic abuse, get out of narcissistically abusive relationships with an exit strategy, plan how to parallel parent with the narcissist that they're with, figure out if your parents are narcissists or if your, romantic partner or ex or friend or toxic boss or toxic employee or coworker is one. I can help you identify the characteristics of it to describe them as one if they are. So I can help you with that in coaching. But one of the things that a lot of people ask me when I'm in a coaching session is, am I the narcissist? And the question I always ask them is, do you think you are a narcissist? That's the question I ask. Do you think you are a narcissist? There's 3 answers here. There's yes, there's no, there's maybe. What is the answer when I ask you that? Do you think you are a narcissist? Yes, no, and maybe. Who says yes? Who says no? Who says maybe? No. Okay. I'm going to give you mine. I'm no. I'm a no. I'm not a narcissist. No, I don't think I'm a narcissist. No, no, no. Yes. Weird girl says yes. No. Ayo, looking good. What's up, Sean, my man? How are you? Clarity Note. Guys, go follow Clarity Note. This is a good friend of mine. He is an amazing creator in this space of narcissistic abuse. He also talks a lot about codependency, talks a lot about enmeshment in family dynamic, and has 21, how many years of narcissistic abuse experience do you have? Sean, you 22? Was my favorite number is 22, so I'm hoping it's 22, but I know it's in the 20s. 20 plus years experience in narcissistic abuse. So I would go follow Clarity Note. He's in the chat right now. If you want some really good resources here. And he's also a coach just like me. So no, 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 no. Hello, Rocket Man. No, maybe. Yes, no, and maybe are the questions. If you're just popping in here, I asked the question, do you think you are a narcissist? Do you think you are a narcissist? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Hello. Okay, are you guys ready for this? If you're ready for this, I'm going to tell you, based on your answer, if you're likely a narcissist or not. Nope. Ryan Helm says nope. And mine is a nope. I'm a nope. Heck no, I'm not a narcissist. But some of you have said yes, and some of you have said maybe. If you answered yes, no, or maybe, or I don't know, which is maybe, crip crop. If you answered yes, if you answered no, if you answered maybe to the question, am I a narcissist? There's a really good chance you're not one. Who has just been relieved? Any relief? And I'm going to give you the funny part of this in a second. I just want to know how many people are relieved knowing they're not a narcissist. There's a high chance you're not one, and I'm going to tell you why. Why? When you answered yes, when you answered no, and when you answered I don't know, you did one thing that a narcissist cannot do. They can. I mean, let me just backtrack. Of course they can do it. They don't want to do it. They hate it. What is that thing that they don't want to do? What is the thing that you just did when you answered yes, no, or maybe? You did a thing. What was it? Admit it. Yeah, that takes doing something though. What is it that we did? Reflect. Cool Whip. Reflect. That takes self-reflection. It's a self-reflection. That's the tool that we need to do in order to figure it out, right? When somebody comes to you and says, are you a narcissist? Do you think you're a narcissist? You did something. You looked back. You looked back at your past, and you looked back at the past relationships and the dynamics you've been involved in, and you asked yourself these questions. Did I abuse them? Did I hurt them the way I've been hurt by a narcissist? Am I abusive? You know, you took a mental inventory of your life and your behaviors and your actions, right? You took a mental inventory of your life, your behaviors, and your actions with the people that you were involved in, that you love. That takes self-reflection. A narcissist won't do that, guys. They won't self-reflect. Do you want to know what the answer is to when a narcissist is asked that question? Do you think you're a narcissist? What would a narcissist say when I ask that question to them? They would say, "You're not qualified to ask me that. Where's your license? Are you a therapist? Are you a clinician? That's a stupid test. A one test question? A one question test to find out if I'm a narcissist? That doesn't find out shit. I have no idea. Like, there's no way you know shit. You don't know shit about shit. Give me something better. I'm not answering that. That's fucking stupid. They won't even ask. They'll deflect. Exactly. They'll leave you. They'll just ignore you. They're deflecting pros. Exactly. They'll leave you feeling confused. That's where the game, they let go. That's the funny part, guys. That's the funny part, is that they will word salad their way out of it. They'll be like, well, you know what? The DSM-5 says this. And if you actually look into the cluster B disorders, you will see there's 5 tests that you can actually do. And 5 therapists that I talked to, and 15 therapists, one in Arizona, and this person in Arizona said this, and they said that. And I watched this thing. HG Tutor talks about this. There's absolutely no way that I'm a narcissist. You can't even ask that question because you're not qualified. You're actually going through this. You'll be so confused with the shit that they say that you'll give up and you'll forget that there was even a question asked. You'll forget who the fuck you are. You'll be so stuck in cognitive dissonance. You'll be so stuck in confusion because a narcissist is a master manipulator at confusing you. They're a pro at it. I get so angry when my ex-narc, which is a deadbeat, threatens taking the kids full time. Right? Don't get angry about something that you can't take seriously, guys. We can't take this shit seriously. When they're talking to us, when they're saying stuff to us, they're saying this as a form of manipulation. They're saying this to control our reaction. They're saying things that will likely never happen. They're threatening us with emptiness. They're empty threats. Tripped me out. He accused me of being a narc. He said I was causing mental torment trying to leave him. Right? But you're not, because you're the one who's stuck in a mental torment. You're the one who's being abused emotionally, verbally, right? Sometimes financially, sometimes physically. Definitely psychologically, you're getting all sorts of type of abuse, all sorts of styles, flavors of abuse, one right after another. And you're stuck in so much stress. You're stuck in so much chaos. You're stuck with so much like cortisol and adrenaline, fight or flight. You're just stuck trying to survive. It sucks. It's exhausting. How many of us are healing from narcissistic abuse and are utterly exhausted? Hands up if you're utterly exhausted. And tell me what that's like for you. What is it like to be that exhausted? You're in survival mode. Ro, it's me. Hi, Ro, me. Yeah? What does that feel like? You know, I was in bed for days sometimes. I would never get out of bed. I would get up for a second to eat and I would go right back to bed. Right? Shame. A month away from the narc and you're healing. It's exhausting. I'm happy to be away now. Yes. There is some days where I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get up. I don't want to eat. I'm not even thirsty. I don't want to do anything. I have no self-expression. I'm isolated. Right? This is our way of healing. We have to heal through this trauma. Being exhausted, it happens. Why? Because we're stuck in fight or flight for so long, for years. Imagine what it's like to be in a state of anxiety for years, months, days, whatever. We're not supposed to be in a state of anxiety that long. We're not supposed to have so much cortisol for that. When you have a nervous little moment of nerves, okay, you gotta jump out of a plane and do this skydive thing. You don't want to do it. And you're like super anxious, but then you do it and it's gone. You know, you have to go up in front of a stage of 100 people and say a speech, and you have stage fright, and you go up there and you have a ball of anxiety, and you're like, I don't want to do it. But then you do it and it's gone. Or you're driving, and you slam on the brakes because you're almost about to hit somebody in front of you. Anxiety! And then you don't hit them and it's gone. Those moments of anxiety are supposed to be temporary. They're supposed to be little spurts of it. They're survival. We do this so that we can protect ourselves, so that we don't just jump out of planes for nothing, right? So that we don't just like nonchalantly, like, you know, we have anxiety when we're about to go into labor, us women who have to go through childbirth, right? If we didn't have that sense of anxiety, that sense of adrenaline, that sense of like, and that survival, we'd just be popping out babies on the bus. We need that to survive. Our bodies need to have that to like protect us from something hurtful, from something painful. We need a little bit of fear so that we can stay on the edge of the cliff and not jump off, right? We need that. But imagine being in that state for years, for days at least, like even just for one whole day, being in that state where you're about to hit a car and your stomach, your fucking heart just crashes down to the pit of your stomach, and you're just like, huh! You need a plastic or a paper bag to breathe into because you can't fucking breathe. Right? We'd be popping out babies on the bus if we didn't have that. If we didn't have that little fear, that little anxious feeling. Right? We actually need that, but we can't survive on that all the time. It's exhausting. When you're with a narcissist and you're living in fight or flight, when you're living on the eggshells, you're literally walking on eggshells every day, hoping that you're not going to get, you know, Jekyll? It's Jekyll that's the bad one, right? Which one's the bad one? Is it Jekyll or Hyde? Dr. Hyde. Jekyll's the bad one, right? We don't know who we're going to get. We don't know if they're going to yell at us today or if they're going to bring us a dozen red roses. Hyde is the bad one. Yeah, okay, yeah. Dr. Jekyll, okay. Thank you. So if we are in this walking on eggshells, constant state of anxiety, always stressed out, it's exhausting to live this way. This is not supposed to be a permanent way to live. It's not supposed to be this every day. So if you've lived with a narcissist or you were with one and you had to be in the same space as them constantly, you're constantly living in a state of anxiety, in a state of fight or flight, in a state of like Stockholm syndrome, survival mode, all of that, depression. It takes a huge toll on our mental health, and our body suffers from it. Our body actually starts shutting down in some areas in order to fulfill and to supplement the other areas, like motor skills, getting up and walking, getting up and being able to go to the bathroom, right? We lose out on other areas of our body, you know, cognitively. Also, we lose our sense of intuition. Intuition really helps us. It helps us bring us to a point of peace and helps us figure out what our dreams are, what our purpose is, what our passion is. We lose intuition. We start learning we actually unlearn how to trust ourselves. Narcissists need to be shipped away on their own island so they can abuse each other for real. For real. I don't say this, but you know, sometimes I'm like, I love it. Yep. Thank you for the love mic, Nin-Nins. Guys, if you see these little love badges in here, these little love badges, guys, if you want to subscribe to my live, you get these little love badges. You get access to these special little emotes. They're little stars you can put in the chat. And also, I'm going to be doing these lives where I'm going to be doing Q&A for my subscribers only can ask, but you can still sit in the live and listen. Then your body never rejuvenates and your body never repairs because it's in a constant state of anxiety. Yes, It never really rejuvenates. Unfortunately, we can recover from narcissistic abuse. But I'm going to tell you something, and it's an unpopular opinion, but it is my opinion. I believe that healing is growing. I believe that growing is learning. And I also believe that every day on this earth that we live and breathe, we won't stop growing. We're always growing, okay? Healing from narcissistic abuse is growing. So what am I saying here? We're never fully healed because we never stop growing. We're never fully healed. So no, we don't just turn into this new healed person. We don't just get this destination. We get there and we're fully healed. There's no such thing, guys. Unfortunately, there's so much trauma and so much damage that a narcissist has placed onto our lives that healing is an everyday thing. Healing never ends, guys. We're always going to be healing because we're always learning and we're always growing. And on this journey, there's going to be places where we're going to be like, oh my gosh, I never knew that this was so awful. Like, it's like peeling back layers of an onion. You start to see where all of the abuse is, and you start to make realizations and go, wow, that was so abusive. Oh my God, wow, he took my power away. Oh my God, wow, she manipulated me so much. Wow, like this all starts happening and clicks start happening, and this can take years of healing. So you really need to take the time and be kind to yourself, give yourself grace, make sure you know that healing isn't linear. It's not a straight line. There's no destination to be had. Healing is not a destination. Healing is a direction. Healing is not a destination. It's a direction. It's a direction we choose to take. And that direction can, I don't know which way I'm going here. It can come in a wave. It can be up. It can be down. It's a fucking roller coaster. It's like all over the place. You could be moving quite along really great on your healing journey, and then boom, something happens. It draws you back. You're like back to square one, or you're like, 10 steps back. That's okay. Right? Be kind to yourself. Oh my God, yes, it's exactly how I feel. It's not linear. Exactly. And we all feel this way. We all feel this way, guys. It's okay to feel this way. Be very kind to yourself. Take a mental health snack if you need to. Who wants to know what a mental health snack is? Have you ever heard me say this? Has anyone heard me say what a mental health snack is? Ooh, it's getting hot in my house. Turn this though. Here we go. Who knows what a mental health snack is? Who wants to know? No? Okay. Mental health snack is this. You take this when you need a break. You take this when you start to feel a trigger. You take a snack. I mean, who doesn't like snacks? I fucking love snacks. Right? Do we love snacks? Heat wave today, I know. Mental health snack is this, and I love my acronyms. If anybody knows me, everyone knows how much I love acronyms, okay? A few of them, and I'm going to steal this from Jeannie Aiko's dad. LOVE, which stands for living on valued energy. Living on valued energy. I always say love is a verb. Love is the way we show people. Love is the value we give people. The energy that draws us towards people and how we express love. And we're living on their valued energy. We're living on valued energy. That's love. Another one I love is hope. Hold on, pain ends. Have hope that what you're going through right now is temporary, that the pain you're in will end, and you'll be on the other side of freedom where it's peaceful. Hold on, pain ends. Okay, so a snack, a mental health snack is another acronym that I absolutely love. When you feel like you need a snack, what happens when we're hungry, right? We feed ourselves. Something is telling us, oh, my hungry jacket's on tight. I need to feed myself. Get a snack. When we're having a trigger, when we're in the healing journey and we're on this direction and we're on this journey and something's triggering us and something feels icky and we're jittery and we need a snack, we need a mental health snack, we need to do these 5 things. This is the snack. We need to stop. Stop everything you're doing and just be in the present. Take a moment for yourself and stop. Okay? N, notice. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice if you're getting anxious. Notice if you're wanting to throw up. If your stomach is right here on the top of your throat. Notice what's happening around you. Notice where you are. Are you with your kids? Are you alone? Are you looking at pictures of your ex? What are you doing? Stop and notice. And then A, accept. Just have acceptance, radical acceptance. Accept that this is where you're at right now. Accept that you're having a panic attack. Accept yourself. Have deep love and acceptance for yourself. And the moment and the trigger, right? The reaction, the experience that you're having right now. Stop, notice, and accept it. Okay? C, be curious. Ask yourself questions. What led me to this moment? What was I doing here? Right? Ask yourself, be curious. Be curious about why you're feeling this way. Don't ask why you're feeling this way. Ask what led you to feel this way. Was it because they showed up? Was it because you got a text message from them? Right? Was it because you got drawn back into a memory that was really good? A really good memory? And you wish that that was reality? That those good memories were going to be your future and they weren't? Be very curious why you got there. Stop, notice, accept, be curious. And the last thing was the most important thing, which is what I very initially talked about here, is be kind. That's loving yourself. That's self-care. That's self-love. Be kind. Have grace. Give yourself grace. Give yourself that space to say, it's okay that I feel like this. It's okay that I'm having a trigger. It's okay that it came from a memory of being that battered wife 10 years ago, right? I accept myself for having this moment and having this trigger, and I accept that I'm healing from narcissistic abuse, and I accept that I have symptoms of CPTSD. I accept that I may still be trauma bonded to the narcissist, all right? I noticed everything that I was going through that is this trigger. I took time to notice, right? And I stopped in my space that I was in and gave myself that space. Take a mental health snack. Stop, notice, accept, be curious, be kind. Who's going to use that tool the next time they have a trigger? Hands up if you want to use it the next time you have a trigger. We have a lot of mutual friends on social media. I hate it. Mostly women. You know what? If you need to, hands up, yeah, you're going to use the trigger. Or you're going to use the mental health snack if you have a trigger. If you can take them off your social media, it will help you. Mutual friends you do not need to be friends with people who can be triangulated by the narcissist. Yes, oh, I'm so happy. So anybody who is still looking at the narcissist social media, please remember, when you're looking at the narcissist's social media, you are putting a needle in your eye. If you have mutual friends with the narcissist on social media, you have potential to put a needle in your eye, because those people can post pictures. Those people can post stuff about the narcissist, and you're bound to see it. There's no reason for you to be connected with anyone who's connected to the narcissist. And your ride or dies, your friends will understand. Hey, guess what? I can't see him. I can't see her. And I know you guys are friends. I want to let you know that my boundary is just to remove them from my life completely. So that means because you're connected to them, I'm going to remove you on my social media so that I don't see it. And I would really love and respect and be very appreciative for you to do the same and not share with me anything about the narcissist so that I don't have to have them in my space. People who will love and support you will understand that. and they will appreciate and respect that boundary. And for those who don't, they're not supposed to be your friends anyway. They're not really there to support you. Gives you some severe anxiety to put a boundary up. If you practice setting boundaries, you get better at it. They don't understand why they're not really a friend. Yeah. And if they want to be in your life, then they will do whatever they can to help support you in your healing. Sometimes it's a conversation with somebody that just basically states, listen, this is what I need for my mental health. My mental health is at risk. Can you support me so that I can heal from the trauma that I had? Not from you, but from them. I know they didn't directly abuse you, but they did to me. And I have some serious healing to do. And you telling me about them and sharing me some embarrassing story about them or picture showing up on your feed really bothers me and really doesn't help me grow from this. If they can't see that and they don't understand that, they can't be for you and they're not who they say they are as far as a friend, they're not your people. Allowable behavior, literally my favorite term. He won't admit that he is. I feel like no matter what I do, it's wrong. Yeah. They really have that effect on people. They make you feel like everything you do is wrong. Oh, that's okay if you don't get disconnected. It's all good. So guys, if you don't know already, I offer group coaching. I'm also a coach. I'm also a life coach, certified life coach, and I help people heal from narcissistic abuse. I work with you one-on-one. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, you can book a coaching session with me in the link in my bio. Go to the link tree in my bio under coaching, and you can book a coaching session with me. If you've already worked with me, you can book your next coaching session with me on that link. If you're working with me for the first time, we do our first 30 minutes, and we will chat about how I can help and support you. But group coaching, who's going to be in it? Hands up again. Who's going to be in group coaching? Put your hand up. Group coaching is happening on Sunday. So that event is already closed for registration. It has already been sold out for the last couple weeks. So whoever wants to join the next one, anyone who hands up, yay, all of my babies. Look at all these peeps. Gonna be in here. I'm gonna see your beautiful faces, and we are gonna talk about self-love. I'm gonna have everyone introduce themselves. I'm gonna facilitate this group coaching session. So we're gonna start with a little chat about self-love, and then we're gonna go around as a round table, and I'm gonna have you talk about what you're going through and who you're healing from, right? And how long you've been free or where you wish to be. So yes, if you want to book for August 28th, link in my bio under events. The very top link is group coaching for August 28th. It's $25. It is limited to only 25 people. So anyone who wants to join in and be a part of that, you will get a Zoom link. We're going to sit in a roundtable group, and we're going to see all of our little tiles, and we're going to take turns talking. And you have the option to talk. You have the opportunity to share your story to a group of people that I promise you will get it. They will understand exactly where you came from. They will understand exactly what you're going through. They might even know where you're going to be going soon because they've been there already and you're not there yet. You can do it from your cell phone. You can do it from any smartphone. You can do it from a computer, a laptop, anywhere that has access to data, Wi-Fi. You get a link and it pops up on video. But if you only want to do the audio, you just have a little tile pop up. So you don't actually have to show your face, or you don't actually have to have an active camera. As long as you have a speaker. So yes, you can do it from your phone. I would book that if I were you, because it did sell out pretty fast on the first one, which is this Sunday. The next one is going to be the end of August. And I'm going to be doing them once a month. The other thing that you can join in is a webinar called Why Can't I Just Leave? If you're afraid to share, you don't have to share. We go around and take turns, and I will call out the names and the tiles, and I will just say who wants to share. Okay, and if you don't want to, you can just say, hi, I'm wherever, and this is the date that I left the narcissist. Or you don't even have to say anything. You can just say pass, or you can just say, I'm Shauna. or I'm Ro. I just made up that name. So you can just say, you don't have to share. But I'm going to tell you something. If you come to more of these group coaching sessions, the more you listen to other people's stories, the more confident you'll be in sharing. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Your sharing can save someone's life. I'm serious. You could share something about what you've gone through, what you're going through, and it can click for someone else in this community. It can click. Something might just be the right thing said at the exact right time where they needed to hear it for them to step out of an abusive situation and get on that side of freedom, get on that road to freedom. And I'll tell you something. Freedom is so sweet. The grass is greener on this side. My worst day on the side of freedom is still far better than the best day I had with the narcissist. My worst day on the side of freedom is still far better than the best day I had with the narcissist. So don't ever discount your story and your experience as maybe not being that impactful or that much of a, it wasn't as bad as this person. I wasn't really abused that much. Your experience will always be the worst because it's your experience. It's your lived experience. There's a lot of types of abuse that happen in this world, but the one you lived is the worst because it's yours. So remember that. I do hope you join the group coaching session, because the more people are involved in this healing community sharing, the more we can spread the word out and create awareness for narcissistic abuse and have more people understand what they're going through and help others heal. Another thing that I do is I offer text packaging for anyone who doesn't want to work with me face-to-face or who has something that they'd like to just work through in a week. I do 6 days text packaging. So if you want to send me photos of narcissists, the narcissist sending you photos of their, or screenshots of text, if you want to get through something quickly, like maybe a court case that you're battling, or you want to go no contact, or you're trying to put a parenting plan in place and we can't get this done in an hour, you can actually text me on a private system that doesn't share phone numbers. That is also on the link in my bio under resources. It's called 6 Flags. So it's my 6 Flags texting package. And then lastly, there's this amazing webinar that's coming up on August 18th called Why Can't I Just Leave? I think I touched on it earlier, didn't get to finish it. The pricing on my link tree is all when you click on each thing. So if you click on a 30-minute session, or you click on a 60-minute session, or you click on the event, it'll show you the price. If you are thinking that you're confused, if you had a hard time leaving, if you're struggling to leave right now, Dr. Kristen Milstead wrote a book called Why Can't I Just Leave? Talking all about cognitive dissonance, which is basically a literal mind fuck. It's basically a mind fuck. It's like, he loves me, but he hits me. Okay, I guess he loves me. I'll go with that, right? She says that I'm the only one in the world, that I'm her man, and that no one else is for her, but she's cheating on me. Okay, I'm her man. I'll go with that. So this is what we do. We pick the easiest one. That's called cognitive dissonance. We're mind fucked. We've got 2 separate thoughts. They compete, but we go with the easiest one. We go with the one that soothes us. We go with the one that's easier to create as our reality. How do we break cognitive dissonance and snap out of that confusion? Dr. Kristen Milstead is going to talk all about that in the webinar. The webinar is August 18th. If you cannot make the webinar, you get a recording of it for $25. That recording is usually, I think it's going to be $30 when the webinar ends. So actually it's cheaper. If you get the webinar and attend it or not attend it, you still get the recording of it. Go to the link in my bio under events, right under my group coaching session button. Right underneath it is Why Can't I Just Leave? It's a live webinar hosted by Carrie McAvoy, PhD, with the guest Dr. Kristen Milstead, who's going to be talking about cognitive dissonance. So if you want to be in that webinar, I would encourage you to be there, because all of us are facing cognitive dissonance, even if we don't know it. It's basically confusion. Were you like, what the fuck, when you were in that relationship? Did you ever look at yourself and go, what's going on here? What even is this? Is this real life? Is this fake? What's happening? Who am I? Where am I? What is this? If you've ever asked yourself those questions, you had cognitive dissonance. That's confusion. If you were ever like, what is happening? The fuck am I? Who is this? What happened? Right? That's cognitive dissonance. Yes, thank you, Brittany. I also have a course on healthy dating after abuse. I know we weren't really talking about that, but there is a life outside of abuse, guys. There's a life outside of abuse. We don't have to live in this shell of CPTSD and anxiety and all of this stuff and like be scared and sheltered and not step out into the world again because we were abused by a narcissist. We can go out and have healthy love find us. We can have that. There is a such thing as healthy love. We can have that. You are worthy of that. You deserve all that is good in the world. Everything, all of it. All the good sex. All the good snacks. All the good people, relationships, dynamics. The best job. You deserve all of that. The narcissist made you feel like you weren't worthy of it, but you are. So if you want to learn how to step out into the world and grab it and be in a romantic, healthy relationship, I talk all about healthy dating after abuse. My friend Ben Taylor, who is Raw Motivations on TikTok and all other platforms, has an app called the NARC app, which is Narcissistic Abuse Survivors Community, or Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Community. NARC app, okay? You can download that right now. If you want to, download it right now and come back and say, hey, I've downloaded it. Downloaded, okay? Go to the NARC app, go download it, and you have access to my course, which is called Healthy Dating After Abuse, as well as courses that Ben has created. And if you follow Abuse is Abuse, which is Bree Peterson, you can get her course on boundaries. Boundaries and healthy dating after abuse go hand in hand. You want to have boundaries so you can build standards for a partner that you're looking for, a lifelong partner. So if you're ready to start dating again, you're ready to start doing that, go to the NARC app, check out my Healthy Dating After Abuse. And again, if you want to book coaching with me and you want to work with me one-on-one, I have slots available for new clients to come in and work with me directly. You can book that all on my Linktree. My boyfriend says my Linktree is a mall. He says it's like going into a mall. You can go in there. There's so much stuff that you can look for. There's my coaching. There's my events. There's resources in the community. Some of the things that I offer. I also offer 31 ways to practice self-care. So some ideas if you can't think of how to practice self-care and you can't think of anything but going to the gym, there's 31 ways that I've come up with and created for you to just look at, give yourself some ideas so that you can practice self-care and in turn be in self-love because you're practicing self-care. That's also on my Linktree. I also have some of my favorite books on there, some of my favorite journals, and all the podcasts that I've been guested on in the one episode of podcast that I did for me. So I do appreciate everyone being here tonight. Thank you so much for all your questions and all your energy and everything. And lastly, downloaded. Awesome. Downloaded. Yay. And if you do want to be notified when I go live, guys, I don't know if the notifications are working. For some people, it's not. But if you go to the profile pic and you hit the little bell, downloaded. Hey, Jeff, what's up? Go to the little bell and you can hit notifications and be notified when I'm live. I do also offer donations and sponsorships. So what I mean by that is people can donate a coaching session for someone else. So there's a little button on there saying donate coaching or donate group coaching, and you can donate someone else's group coaching ticket if you want somebody to be in that coaching session with us. You can also donate and sponsor a survivor to be in a one-on-one 30-minute coaching session with me, and you can help people who are maybe suffering from financial abuse or who just don't know how to take that step to get to this place of healing, and you want to do that for them. You can go in the link in my bio under Sponsor a Survivor and help somebody by giving them the opportunity to work with me one-on-one. I give those away in live. So I usually just go live and I give them away and I put a draw in. And so that's what I do. So if you want to do that, you can. One last question before I go. How do we tell we're a survivor how do we tell you as a survivor that we're suffering from the financial abuse? How do we tell? I have a lot of content on financial abuse. Basically, financial abuse, all it is a narcissist or somebody who is taking your finances or abusing you around money. So controlling your finances, making you go into business with them and going into debt with them when they have no intention of actually giving you any return on your investment, making you feel guilty for your purchases. A lot of the times narcissistic abuse is about how you feel about yourself. So if you're starting to feel really insecure around money and have this mode of scarcity because of someone that you met or someone you're involved with, that's financial abuse. And I have a lot of content around this. So if it pops up on your feed or you search financial abuse, you might see some of it. But that's what that is. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I will see you all soon. And let's stay narc free. Thank you. Bye.